Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
What did you say?
I want to know who I'm talking to.
That's not what you said.
What do you think I said?
What is up, nerd detectives? Welcome to another episode of Whiskey and a Mystery. I am your host, Blake Money Blakeweather. How is everybody doing on podcast land? I always hope you're doing great. You're doing wonderful. You're doing fantastic. All of the good stuff. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in for this second episode of Whiskey and a Mystery. I'm glad y'all liked the first one. I hope y'all stick around for the rest of these. And I hope you've been getting some good whiskey picks. If you're not into whiskey, I hope you've been learning some new stuff. And if you are into whiskey, I hope these flavors match up with the movie as you're watching it. And if you're somewhere in the middle, I kind of just hope you're enjoying this, because you know what? I'm here. I'm a new whiskey fan. I'm a big murder mystery fan, and I'm right along for the ride all the way through. Today, though, we're talking all about the movie where a person in a white mask stalks babysitters.
You mean like in Halloween?
No, not like in Halloween.
Oh, sounds a lot like Halloween.
All right, it's a little like Halloween.
Okay.
It's not Halloween, though. Today, we're talking all about... Now, as you know, this is obviously one of my favorite murder mystery slasher movies. It's really the film that helped grow this channel. I have Scream 1, 2, 3, 4, all the breakdowns, every clue's inside of there. I hope you enjoy those breakdowns as much as I enjoyed making them. I hope you've learned something new. But this is a fun way to sort of come back to these movies and do it in a fresh way. And what's better than pairing this movie with a good whiskey? I'm obviously a whiskey fan, but I'm sort of new to this world, and I want to learn a little something new about this whole world. So as you know, with every episode, we have a whiskey expert / whiskey nerd on to come on and pair this movie with a good whiskey. But we do have some rules. Rule number 1, the whiskey they pick cannot exceed $45 and has to be findable by everybody out there. Has to be something that's pretty accessible. I don't want it to break the bank for y'all, and I want y'all to have fun with the whiskey picks that our whiskey nerd comes on and picks. 2, at the end of this episode, the whiskey nerd / whiskey expert will make their expert pick, and this whiskey may be a bit more harder to find, may cost a few more bucks, but if you're into that and if you're okay with spending a little bit more money or going on the hunt for this particular whiskey, I think it's going to be well worth it. So today on this episode, our whiskey expert / whiskey nerd is none other than a long-term friend of mine who has been on, every iteration of every podcast that I've ever done. He's a whiskey fan, he's an MMA fan, and he's my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of MMA on the Rocks, welcome my friend and tonight's whiskey nerd / expert, Bill Welker. Bill, how you doing, my man?
My brother, appreciate the introduction there. I'm doing great, man. Thanks for asking me to do this. This is going to be so much fun.
I know. We have fun. We've had so much fun over the years, drinking and talking MMA or talking, when I hosted Unfiltered Bachelor. We've had so much fun just talking about so much else. And now we get to talk about a good murder mystery movie. And we get to, I think, focus on the whiskey aspect, something that was more of a background player every time we would hang out. And everybody go back to the Loaded Joe's episodes if you want to see what whiskey can do between us, because we've had some fun times, Bill.
Some of that footage is still unfounded.
It's never going to be released ever. There's 30 minutes of it that will never be released. Ever, never, ever.
Unless you subscribe to the OnlyFans.
That's true, actually. I may release it just for that, and I'm going to put a high price tag. We'll see who pays for it. But Bill, brought you on, man. You are an expert in your own realm, not only of MMA, but also of fine beverages. and whiskey specifically. Like, you are a whiskey bourbon head guy. You've been on that train for as long as I've known you. And now that I'm coming around to starting my own selection and collection, I figured I'd have to hit you up because we're breaking down Scream, and I figured you would have a good pairing for this movie. So as you watched it, as you thought about it, what is your pairing for this movie?
So when you asked me to do this, and I appreciate the kind words, a very nice way to call me a degenerate. He's been drinking as long as I've known him.
Don't forget alcoholic. Don't forget alcoholic.
Well, alcoholic is just a word invented by boring people to describe fun people.
All right, this is true. All right, I'm back on board. Let's go.
So, without even thinking too much about the movie, this whiskey came to mind, and it's Redwood Empire Pipe Dream.
Ooh,
I'll give a little close up.
There it
to
is.
the folks there. So you could see it's got that reddish color, which I'm a sucker for. I like those cherry notes that get pulled out of the oak barrels.
Oh yeah.
So anything like in this color realm is going to be right up my alley. So like a Weller antique. A
Rebel is that color, right?
Huh?
Rebel is that color?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Rebel. A lot of the Rebel lines. So this reddish color, like I can already tell looking at it, it's going to be right up my alley. And, it has all those classic bourbon flavors. It's got the vanillas, it's got the oaks, but that little hint of cherry, it's almost like you're drinking a Manhattan cocktail without
mixing without mixing all the rest of the ingredients.
So not only does the blood red appeal to me, because I know the flavors that are going to come along with it, but slasher film, blood red whiskey.
Yeah.
And then also, believe it or not, this is a bourbon that comes out of California. And the fictional town where Scream takes place, Woodsboro,
yeah,
California.
Ooh.
It just felt right. So this is the one I had to go with.
Hand in hand. Let me try that out, man.
Yeah, man. Grab a sip.
Thank you. All right, let's check this bad boy out. All right, I'm gonna hand it back to you real quick.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks, sir.
All right, so what am I looking for here as I go in smell-wise? Because I'm gonna tell you what I smell and let me know what you think.
All I can tell you is it's gonna make you scream.
Ooh.
With delight.
Insert a clip of the movie right here.
Yeah, you're gonna love this one. It's a Scream, baby. Hold on a sec. I'll be right back.
I don't know what clip that was, but I'm sure everybody enjoyed it. I get a real woody vanilla flavor on this, light, obviously not like a flavored, but like light and woody and vanilla. Almost like a dark. There's some sort of dark fruitiness in there. It's not quite cherry, but it does have I don't know if I would describe it like a prune or a date sort of like dark fruity flavor in there. Maybe even apricot. I could go with that too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's in there.
Yeah. And then the nice oakiness. It does have a nice oakiness. Well, let's cheers this.
Cheers, my friend.
Doom. Oh, that's smooth. That is smooth from head to toe. You get a bits of that woodiness, the vanilla. You definitely get cherry. It coats the tongue. I would say this. I've had some sips of it, and you can. What's the proof on that thing?
It's 45%.
Yeah, it's not too crazy. There is a slight burn, a little bit, but I swished it in my mouth a little bit. No burn, literally no burn right there. It's smooth. It's a smooth start, and it has a nice medium finish to it. I am such a fan that you recommended this, and I think what a movie to pair with this as the movie's going along. It's getting a little bloody, a little. I mean, all right. Let's start off with this though. The opening scene. Oh, before we go any further, we're gonna have spoiler alerts. Spoiler alerts before we go any further.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you had 30 years to see this movie, so.
All right, no more spoiler alerts. That's
it. if you're watching this show to see if you should check it out or not, You're a little behind.
Go do something better. I guess drink more whiskey and then for sure go watch it. And then come back and watch this. What were you going to say though before I started getting into this?
Oh, I was gonna say it's got like the finish. It's got a long finish, and if you let it kind of sit on the tongue, you get another pop of that cherry. It's almost like a little cherry pop rock on your tongue that just kind of bursts back out.
I will say the cherry on this is less. It's. I like cherry pop rock. I like some sort of like a cherry candy. It's not medicinal cherry like what you get out of like Buffalo Trace or even Old Forester. I have Old Forester 86 behind. It's a lovely, both of them, lovely bourbons, but like it has almost a medicinal sort of like dime tap, like not quite Tylenol, but like a dime tap for kids type of cherry flavor to it.
I know
This has more of like a light candy cherry flavor to it. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's got that nice like cocktail cherry.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. It's like almost a Lichardo, not quite as sweet. But let's get to this movie real quick. The red aspect of this reminds me of the red blood of this movie. And on that note, the opening scene for this movie it's like its own mini movie. It's so iconic, dude. With Drew Barrymore, man. When you rewatched this movie, right? I'm guessing you hadn't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
What did you remember? And then did that match with your expectations this time around when you rewatched it for the opening?
Yeah, it was super nostalgic for me, man. Like it was pretty much exactly how I remembered it. You know, Drew Barrymore's in the house. It's very 90s house. It's a very 90s telephone.
When people could afford those houses. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, here's a little factoid for you that I'll throw in. Do you know that California was the last state to adopt caller ID?
What? No.
Do you know what year they adopted it?
If you say 96, I'm going to
1996, my friend.
Wow.
The same year the Olympics were held in Atlanta, Georgia, was the same year that California got on board with caller ID. Wow. And the phone companies were selling caller ID like mad after this movie.
That's crazy, dude.
Caller ID ruins the whole movie. It's over after that opening scene.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. I mean, the opening scene of Scream 2, like after the kills, there's a guy who calls Sydney, and I'll play the scene right now.
Who is this?
You tell me.
Corey Gillis, 555-0176.
Shit.
Caller ID kills the whole thing. Now, in the later movies, obviously, caller ID, it always shows up as unknown, or somebody's phone got cloned or hacked. And so this is sort of the workaround. But you're right, dude. Like, and I'm sure people went out to go get it after this because they're like, I don't need no Ghostface calling me.
Yeah, because it was kind of a thing where people are like, oh, just answer the phone. Why do I need to know who's calling? Remember when you just answered the phone and you had no idea who it could be?
Oh, it's like a nice little game of playing like a lottery scratcher. I know I said that earlier, but it's like a nice game of that. Like, will I win? Won't I win? I don't know. Who is it? It's a fun surprise. It could be life-changing, or it could be like, God damn it, Frank's calling me again. And I told him we're not friends anymore.
Yeah. Fucking Frank. So then I remember like my dad's job would call trying to get him to come in for overtime or something. And we would have to, you know, you always answer the phone. If it's ever dad's job, he's not home. And then that's it. There's nothing they could say.
Right.
He's not home. Well, that's it. We'll never get a hold of him.
Right. I guess we'll try again next year.
Yeah. Oh, we'll tell him to call when he gets home. I don't know when that'll be.
He's been gone trying to look for milk for about the last 3 months. So.
Yeah, he went out for cigarettes 3 weeks ago.
I'll let you know if I see him, though.
Actually, if you see him, tell him.
Tell him, then he's got a
family's waiting for him at home.
The meatloaf has gone bad, so you know, we left him a plate 3 weeks ago. But yeah, I thought this opening scene was just, it's still iconic, dude, and And the thing I love about it is you separate it. If like they release this as a short film, it still works.
Oh
It's
yeah, just
it's,
that
it's so
there's
good.
so much tension.
Yeah.
That's what really gets established in that opening scene is like this movie is going to be intense because
Mhm.
right out of the gate, a lot of the other classic horror movies, they start off pretty slow.
Right.
There's a big build, right? Here we get like, what the fuck is going on right away?
It reminds. This is not a secret, but and there was a reason I made the Halloween joke in the beginning. But there is a lot of Halloween-esque elements in this movie, and also, if you remember the original Halloween in 1970, fill in the blank. But the one with Jamie Lee Curtis, it starts off pretty intense too. Like the kid puts on a mask, he finds a knife, goes and stabs his sister. He comes down. You're like, what the shit did I just watch? It's the first 5 minutes. And then they take the mask off and it's this little kid with a bloody knife. And you're like, what kind of a movie? Like, and especially then, those type of movies that's not how you started a movie. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. It's the same thing here. Like, the call and then the chase and then like freaking dude dies by the pool. And then like she's hung up to dry at like by the end of the sequence. And you're like, what kind of movie? And if they kill Drew Barrymore, who's safe?
Right. Yeah, because she was like such a budding star at the time, which I'm sure we'll get into later. The cast of this movie is like the 1990s dream team. It's like, but yeah, there were a couple of nods to Halloween because even on the phone, the famous line, "What's your favorite scary movie?" And she says Halloween. Right as she says it, she picks up the Michael Myers knife.
Yeah,
a little. The Michael Myers knife, a few moments later.
Yeah. And then even when the dad's like, go down to the McKinseys, tell them to call the police. And there's a line in Halloween when Laurie Strode's being chased by Michael Myers and she's babysitting the kids. She tells them, I want you to go next door to the McKinseys, tell them to call the police. Like there's all these little lines in this movie. And, it's very intentional, right? Like even the line in this movie that, you're starting to sound like some sort of Wes Craven movie, right? Like, or Wes Carpenter movie. That's what it is. You're starting to sound like some sort of Wes Carpenter movie. There's all this little meta-ness that, like, it's fun. It's fun if you know the references.
If I was wrong about Cotton Weary, then the killer's still out there.
The duck other said, you're starting to sound like some Wes Carpenter flick or something.
And that line was written before. That line and the line making fun of Nightmare on Elm Street was both written before Kevin Williamson knew this was going to be directed by Wes Craven. And Wes Craven kept it in. That's sort of the funny part about that.
But I thought the Nightmare on Elm Street line, because so the killer tells Drew Barrymore, my favorite movie is Nightmare on Elm Street. And she says, oh, the first one was good. The rest sucked.
Right. Yes.
And I thought that was intentional because Wes Craven had directed the first one, but not the sequels.
The first one was directed by Wes Craven, and the rest of them, I think some of them were, some of them weren't. I don't know. I'd need to look this up.
I think up to that point, he hadn't directed any more.
He
may have directed more of them after the fact.
It was that one and Nightmare. It was that one and New Nightmare, right? The more meta one. That's one he directed. He directed those two, I believe.
But that one wasn't that after Scream?
New Nightmare came out, I think, right before Scream. I think it came out in like 94. Let me see. New Nightmare. 94.
Okay.
Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Yeah. It was.
How about while we're talking about Wes Craven, his cameo in the movie?
Dressed as Freddy, and his name is Freddy.
His name is Fred.
Fred.
Yeah, he's dressed in the Freddy Krueger sweater.
Damn little shits.
What'd you call me? Huh?
Not your friend.
I mean, speaking of, the cast, right? Even the cameo with freaking the Fonz. How great is that, dude?
Oh yeah, Henry Winkler as the principal of the school.
So
yeah,
great.
I mean, they got everybody who was anybody and everybody who was about to be somebody to be in this movie.
There were Matthew Lillard, right? David Arquette, Courtney Cox, Nev Campbell, Drew Barrymore, obviously. Rose McGowan. Jesus Christ. I mean, they catching the rookie cards of everybody in this movie.
Don't forget about Skeet Ulrich.
I can forget about Skeet Ulrich because, like, how many movies has he been in? He was like in this and The Craft, and then like,
yeah, that was kind of it.
Was that what else? Yeah, what else you doing in life? I know he's been in some movies. I feel like I've seen him in one, and I was like, Skeet Ulrich, like, you're back, dude. Whoa.
Yeah, his career died with the final scene, kind of.
I'm sure people had a tough time being like, I cannot hire Billy. He's going to kill everybody.
I remember a lot of this movie so vividly. I forgot he was in it until I saw, like, I was like, oh yeah, that's the boyfriend at the
yeah, at the end. Yeah, that's him.
Like,
also, before we continue, Bill, can I have some more of that whiskey? It was very good.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
There you go.
Fantastic. Go ahead and pour that up for one for the homies. It's so great. You lended me the bottle and all, man.
Yeah, man. As you know, I'll actually pour myself a little more.
Ooh, there we go.
I know how this goes, Blake. That's why I poured myself like a little soda on the side here, because you kind of lull me into keep sipping. So even if I got to sip on something, I got a little soda over here, and then I got my.
You're drinking your two-step, yeah.
Yeah,
that's quite the Glencairn that you have there too. That's very nice.
Like that.
Mm-hmm. It looks like a little lantern. That's how big it is.
I like this one, man.
That's nice. It's a nice one.
Yeah, this has been my podcast glass for the past few months now.
Nice.
I like go-to. It's like not as delicate as the Glencairns. I like the flat bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you still get like a good amount of space to nose the whiskey.
Yeah, I think the other ones are a bit smaller than that one. That's a good size Glencairn right there.
Yeah, yeah, it's a nice glass.
What would you say about this movie so far? I mean, we're getting into it, but give me some highs and give me some lows as you went back to rewatch it this time around.
So, I mean, obviously it's a little cheesy, but it's meant to be. So yes. I can't even call it a low because it's meant to be like a spoof of horror movies.
Yes.
You know, like listing out the rules of surviving a horror movie and like the cheesy 25-year-olds playing high school kids.
Right.
like it's got all these cheesy elements to it. Like, you know, nobody believed that Jamie Kennedy was in high school at that point. You know, he's like clearly
an adult. You're an adult.
Yeah,
kid. Yeah.
Like clearly had a 401k at that point.
Or it was just at least starting one, right?
Yeah. But the cheesy elements also worked.
Yeah.
You know, because just when you think like, oh man, they're really turning up the cheddar, like you get another hit, like another hit of suspense. And it just blends together so well throughout the whole thing. And that's really what makes this movie hold up, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because it kind of acknowledges the cheesiness of horror movies. It gives a nod to it. And it says, yeah, this is what we are, but we're still going to knock your socks off with what this movie is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a suspense thriller.
Yeah. Yeah. It's suspense thriller. Also, who done it? It's very Scooby-Doo-ish, man. Like there's a lot of those elements in here where it's like, who is the killer? I mean, that's kind of weird that Billy popped out of the window like that when the killer was just there. And like, who is, oh, it's not Billy. He's in jail. Oh my God, the killer's calling Sydney at Tatum's. Mm-hmm. Like, what's happening? It's this whole, I love that shell game of sort of, I love the fact it's a murder mystery. I love the fact that it's got great twists too. Cause it's like, well, it can't be him but it can't be him, but it has to be him because he, you know, I love that. I love that. That's probably one of my favorite aspects of the movie. And you're right. Like, I think the lows that are the lows of this movie is the sort of cheesy corniness, but it's also like the movie's doing that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
it knows that it's doing it on purpose, and it's okay with leaning into being a little silly in that way and being like, wink, wink, nod, nod. You're like, here's here's how everything's gonna play out, and here's what the kill. But like, you're watching, you think it's another typical horror. You're like, that can't be it. It can't be that easy. Like, it cannot be. They can't just be explaining to me the whole thing. Like, I mean, I think one of the funniest parts of the movie, and I'll play it right here, but it's like when Jamie Kennedy is yelling at Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween and saying, "Move, Jamie. You gotta get. He's behind you, Jamie."
Jamie, look behind you. Look behind you. Turn around. Behind you. I'll turn.
No way. I mean, and we're looking at him knowing his real name is Jamie Kennedy, but he's playing Randy. So it's that whole like, I remember watching that for the first time, and I was like, but oh my God, but you're in suspense, but you're also like talking to the TV, and it can't talk back to you.
Yeah, it's very meta.
Yeah, very meta, very meta.
Mm-hmm.
Before that really became a staple of a cool thing to do in movies or music or whatever the kids are doing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I love about it, because my two favorite genres, dark comedies and horror, and this kind of blended them all together, and it was, the winks to the audience, but at the same time, check this shit out,
right?
And then it's like another twist.
Yeah, absolutely. What was like? Do you have a favorite moment or a few favorite moments from the movie so far? What'd you write in your notes? You had some notes about this. You haven't even had to pull them out yet either, I don't think.
Okay, so here's one. Here's one I had an issue with. The killing of is it Tatum?
Yeah, Tatum.
In the garage door.
Yes.
Like, you see how weak that garage door is. Like, would it even have been able to pick up a person and then like cut them in half? Like, all the rest of the kills in the movie are legit. They're all stabbings.
Yeah.
Like, obviously that's a bad, they have this fucking Rambo knife, but the garage door one, I'm like, come on. Like, you see how weak that garage door chain was? Like, the door would have just broken off, and he would have just fell and scraped his elbow, or her elbow. Sorry.
Yeah, her elbow. Yeah, no, I know what you meant.
But yeah, that would have something that would have been like just a few bruises ends up in, a body getting cut in half. That was the only thing that was like a little too
absurdist.
Yeah, but also enjoyable. Like,
right.
Oh, that's a cool kill. Yeah, like cut in half by the garage door until you're like,
well, it smashed her head. I think that's what it was. It smashed her head.
Yeah, well, whatever the case, like she's stuck in the
door.
It pulls up the whole weight of her. Like, I think my garage door now, if I were to just hold on to it and hit the button, like, that thing's not opening. And this is 30 years later. The technology is much better.
Maybe they just don't make them like they used to. You ever heard that saying? Maybe they just don't make it like they used to.
You could see the chain was struggling.
It was.
It's like, true. That chain was sweating like
like that meme of like that little
it was sweating like people listening to the new Kanye West track.
We're not going to say which country is listening to it the most, but it's out there. It's out there.
I heard that song and I'm like,
you're like, am I going to get canceled just for listening to this?
Yeah, like, oh, delete. Can we get this off my algorithm?
All of my history, all of my internet history.
I don't want anybody to know I ever listened to this. But
do I have VPN? Do I have NordVPN? Right?
You do now. But yeah, so the garage door kill was cool, but I was also a few whiskeys deep, so I was like Jamie Kennedy. I was like, come on, the door's not lifting her up and cutting her head off. At the worst, she would have got to the top and been like, I'm stuck.
Help! Help
Like,
right now.
this is mildly uncomfortable. Someone get me down.
I need to go to the chiropractor.
Like, it's not taking her head off.
I now that you say it though, I've never really thought about it that way. I mean, I've always thought about like, yeah, it's a little crazy, whatever. But now that it's in the context of like who the director is, it's so absurdist, and that's what Wes Craven was sort of known for prior to Scream, right? The Freddy Krueger kills and a whole bunch of other stuff he directed, like in the 70s and the 80s. It's like these absurdist like slasher films where like it's the thrill of the kill. It's like, how creative is that kill? How crazy is it? And I think that style for people that are like don't really have a context for it, they brought it back in the movie Thanksgiving. If anybody's seen that, the Eli Roth sort of murder mystery slasher Thanksgiving, there's a lot of kills in that movie that are just like wackadoodle. You're like, that happened like that? Like, that's crazy. It's almost to that absurdist sort of like sense of horror / comedy horror where you're like, you're not sure if you should laugh or if you're like, you just be shocked, but you're somewhere in between.
Sure. Yeah. And I like that, but it made me pause and say like, not happening, especially because 1996, like most people did not have automatic garage doors. Like I still remember my garage door when I was a kid. It was this heavy iron thing and you had to like lift it up just to get it open and pull it.
I don't think Stu's parents had a problem paying for shit like that, though. They had a boat, they had a 2-story house, they had a whole bunch of land. Like, I think automatic garage door was the least one of their financial worries at that point.
Which is crazy, right? Because Woodsboro seems like all these rich kids,
yes,
right? And all these nice houses. But then, like, when they're filming at the house, it's in the middle of nowhere. There's just cornfields around.
Yeah.
Which is this a rural community where like, are these a bunch of rich farmers?
Right.
I don't think so at the time. Or like, are they in a city?
A little bit of both.
What is the setting here? What are you, Woodsboro?
What are you, Woodsboro? That's the newest book by Gail Weathers. What else is in your notes? I'm eager to hear because I think I'll be, let's, for context, I was like, Bill, you just have to watch the trailer for this, maybe remember some stuff. He's like, oh, I'm going full in on this. And he watched the whole movie and took notes. So I'm kind of like curious now. As were you drinking Redwood as well? Yeah, I'm gonna guess so.
No, actually, I didn't have any on hand at the time. I was drinking. I was actually drinking some of this Heaven Hill grain to glass.
Oh, I've heard that's very good.
It's all right. It was just kind of what was in arm's reach at the time. But yeah, man, I gotta go all out. I can't just go off I'm not gonna phone it in. I gotta rewatch the movie. It's been years since I've seen this movie.
What else was in your notes, Bill?
So another nod to Halloween is Skeet's character, Billy Loomis.
Oh, like Samuel Loomis, the
psychiatrist from Halloween.
Yes.
So that was something I picked up on. Let's see.
Yeah, what you got? What else you got?
Let's see what I want to. Okay, so I want to talk about Courtney Cox's character,
Gail Weathers.
This was a phenomenal performance by Courtney Cox, I thought, because here she is about to become one of the most famous people on the planet. Because Friends comes out 1994. You know, it's a hit out of the gate, but still kind of building momentum. So they're filming this probably 95, right?
They did film it in 95, yeah.
So this comes out in 96. Man, she is hateable in this movie. Like she really does a good job of like this, making you think like this bitch, you know, like, and and really doing a good job of portraying the role of the media
Mm-hmm.
at that time, how the media was just so scummy.
It was all like tabloid, right? Like all the fucking, it was like TMZ before TMZ was around. It was the whole Entertainment Tonight, right? That whole tabloid shit was a huge thing in the 90s, right? Like, and then they had that, like, the lifestyles of the rich and the famous guy, and you just kind of like enamored by this, like, whatever, sort of tabloid celebrity culture.
And as time would go on, the media would become more evil, which makes this role amplified even more, because a year later, Princess Diana would be killed by paparazzi chasing her.
Right.
Just doing anything to get this story, putting lives at risk, killing someone who was a beloved figure, not just in royalty, but in pop culture as well. So I thought Courtney Cox did such a great job of establishing hate me, especially because she's like this quirky, OCD girl on Friends, and like just, cute. And she really turns on the bitch in this
movie. Yeah.
Like, it's like, man, just no, like, people are dying, and she's like,
there's no shame. There's no shame in her game, dude.
So I got to get the scoop on this, and then
the scene that I think about is, I'll send you a copy. And then fucking Sydney hits her.
Well, it'll be out later this year.
Oh, I'll look for it.
I'll send you a copy.
Good luck with your new book. I'll send you a copy. Bam.
Yeah,
Sydney,
that was
super
cold.
bitch.
That was cold.
Good technique taught to you by Bill Welker, who is also kickboxing and MMA coach.
I do what I can,
Continue. I feel like you're on a roll with this.
Yeah, that was really, I was thinking about it at the time, because I really think that role, like, she did such a good job with it, but that it would be amplified as time goes on. Now we know, like, all kinds of media are just evil.
Yes.
Like, they're just putting anything out there to get the clicks, and like, even if it's misleading or half truths or no truth,
but
just to get the story.
For sure. But here is the thing that makes this movie work with her character. And as I've watched the series, I've really appreciated Gale Weathers, even though she is a little shitty sometimes. And by sometimes, I mean all the time. The thing about this movie, and it's really cool about this as a murder mystery, is they make her out to then be our sleuth character. It's not Sydney, who's our main hero. It's Gale Weathers. Gale Weathers is the one who figured out that freaking homeboy at Cotton Weary in jail was framed, or his story didn't match all the clues, and that somebody else had to have been there. She just doesn't know the pieces. She suspects this is a continuation of that. She doesn't know how to prove it. And she is then vilified by Sydney for not letting Sydney be at peace with her mom's death, saying that it was Cotton Weary, even though in the end we find out it wasn't. And actually Gale, even though maybe her actions are shitty and she's shitty to her cameraman.
Damned.
What?
Jesus, the camera, hurry!
My name isn't Jesus.
Kenny,
Yeah?
I know that you're about 50 pounds overweight, but when I say hurry, please interpret that as move your fat tub of lard ass now!
Is actually right at the end of the day.
Yeah. It turns out she's right. And Sydney's mom was just, sneaking around town with Billy's dad.
Right. Yeah.
And like, that's the wild twist at the end. It's like, yeah, well, I've always wanted to kill you because your mom was banging my dad.
I like how he says that, and Stu in the background's like, "What the fuck, bro? I didn't sign up for. Like, I didn't know this. Like, I
Yeah,
need
I
to
thought we were
leave.
just killing people for fun here.
I thought it was just for fun. Yeah.
Thought we were just having a laugh, dude. Or just
One body, two body, whatever, man.
I didn't know this was personal. I'm out.
I'm not here for this anymore. Yeah, but I mean that fact of her being the detective character, it continues throughout the series, and that's the fun part about this is you usually watch a murder mystery and there is some sort of detective character or some sort of sleuth character with the credentials. In this movie, it's the person you don't want to be right because she's so shitty to everyone, dude. She's sneaky. She puts a fucking camera with high schoolers. Like, that has to be illegal. I don't know. And probably California as well. But she's willing to do like so many she's willing to do dirty tricks to get the story. Like, convince, like, hey, let me hit on Officer Doofy over here. And yes, I said Officer Doofy. I know that's a scary movie. But I mean, hit on him and fucking try to get some more, clues and try to get some more of the story so that way I can have the complete story before everybody else. Like, that's it's all really shitty, but like, you're really right. I mean, you're right. At the end of the day, Gail, you are right.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, it's like, oh man, she sucks so much. And fuck, she's right. Sydney's mom was a slut.
It wasn't Cotton Weary. Yeah.
Damn it.
Okay, so let's talk about this. We're talking about Gail. I don't know if you wrote this down.
Cotton might have been getting in there too.
Cotton was. So that was the whole point, is that Sydney's mom was going around town, and Cotton was one of her lovers that she had aside from Billy's dad. Like, that was the crazy thing.
Yeah. Tampons weren't the only cotton getting in Sydney's mom.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Tampax Pearl.
I don't know if you wrote this down or not, but since we're talking about this particular character, who is your MVP of this movie, Bill?
So I was thinking about that. And I kind of went back and forth on it a little bit.
Okay.
And for me, I have a little bit of bias because I like this actor so much. But for me, it's Matthew Lillard. Just the way, like, if we only had the one killer, like we already talked about, Skeet's very kind of unforgettable in this cast of all-stars, right?
Yeah.
I really think Matthew Lillard ties everything together at the end. He gives the comic relief throughout. I think he's a character that really helps tie together the cheesiness and the darkness, the comedy and the slasher mystery.
Yeah.
I think if you take the, and here's why I say he's the MVP. If you take that character out, there's gonna be big gaps in the film, right? I think if you do that with some of the other characters, you could take them out and the film still works. I think the Matthew Lillard character really helps tie everything together.
Yeah.
So that's who it is for me. But I'm just like, I'm such a big fan of Matthew Lillard as an actor because he's been in some like just
banger roles
in shit movies.
And shit movies. He's been in both. He's been in banger roles and shit movies.
But the shit movies he's been in, I've loved because of his performance.
Star Commander, SLC Punk.
SLC Punk is amazing and bad. For me, here's one of the. I know you're a rom-com guy. I'm not. Okay. I'm just not into them. But I was like fairly obsessed with the movie that he did called Summer Catch.
Okay, never saw it.
It's Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jessica Biel is the love interest. Jessica Biel is like the rich high school kid, and Freddie Prinze Jr. Is the landscaper, works for his dad's landscaping company, but he's also like a minor league baseball pitcher.
Okay.
So him and Jessica Biel fall in love, and Matthew Lillard is like the comic relief in that movie. He's like the catcher on the baseball team or something. And it's a terrible movie, awful. But I was just like drawn to it for whatever reason. And the other one I'll give you is a bad movie that I could watch over and over again. It's a movie called 13 Ghosts.
Yep. I know that one. He plays the guy who's like the psychic who can see the ghosts.
Yeah, he's got like the psychic powers. And it's the same thing. Like without him, I wouldn't be interested in. And that's a movie that had so much potential, I feel like, because it's like this guy who was kind of hard on his luck. And it's Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah, he plays the main family guy. He's got a whole
main
family
character. Yeah.
Yeah.
His wife passed away, and like he's
And
struggling.
then his daughter's Shannon Elizabeth, and you're like, well, we saw your boobs in American Pie. How does this get better?
Yeah, how do we see your boobs again? I was thinking the same thing. So he inherits this house that's like all glass, and it's got ghosts trapped in the basement. Nothing in the movie like really makes sense, but like there's kind of cool special effects, and the ghosts are scary, and the storyline, even though it's kind of all over the place, it just ropes me in, and it's mostly because of Matthew Lillard's performance.
And it sucks when he dies in that movie. Spoiler alert.
Oh, you didn't have to spoil that one.
I was gonna, if it's been a long time since that movie came out. I remember
true, but a lot fewer people have seen that than Scream. And then the last one I'll give you. Have you seen Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, but I know he's in it, and I know something about the movie that I shouldn't know. So
okay,
I'll leave it at that.
So it's kind of a reprise, let's say. And just fantastic in that too. So yeah, my MVP is Matthew Lillard for those reasons, but I'll admit I'm biased. For other reasons, I was thinking about Courtney Cox because of all the reasons that we talked about. But yeah, I just kept coming back to Matthew Lillard and how he kind of helps tie everything together, all the cheesiness and all the suspense and everything. He's involved in all of it. And so that's why I went with him. But who's yours? And do you have opinion on my MVP?
I do have an opinion. I think it's a great MVP. Skeet Ulrich, like whether he did a whole bunch of stuff in his career or not, like this role is so memorable, and he's so good as like the psycho killer, like guy who's movie quoting and like fucking a little off, and like he's trying to pressure his girlfriend into sex a little too much. Like he's so good at that role.
I don't want a PG-13 relationship.
Right. Maybe we can just do a little over the cover stuff. Use that as a first line on a first date. Let me know how that goes, fellas.
I use it on my wife all the time. I don't want a PG-13 relationship.
But he plays the straight sort of like straight edge sort of psycho, like, hey, I'm the crazy guy. And Stu is a great counterbalance of like the comedic sort of comical relief of being a psycho, right? Like, oh, we gotta kill you. Oop, you were not a virgin. Oop, we gotta kill you. Those are the rules. Or when he breaks the dad out of the closet and he's like, what's behind door number 3? Like all these little funny lines, even when he gets stabbed, he's like, I'm feeling a little woozy here. Or he gets hit with the phone and like, yeah, me with the phone, dick, which was an improvised line, which was hilarious. He wasn't supposed to be hit by the phone.
I did not know that.
Yeah, apparently Skeet Ulrich was trying to throw it like in his direction, and the cornstarch got stuck and on the phone and on his hands, and it flew a different direction than he wanted to throw it. Ends up hitting Matthew Lillard in the head, and Matthew Lillard just freestyled that line.
You pansy ass mama's boy.
Fucking hit me with the phone, Dick!
Which is utterly hilarious. I mean, you're being in character, freestyling that line's hilarious.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
there's so much little tidbits of like stuff where you're like, this is great. But yeah, Stu being just a goofball throughout the movie, and then him being revealed to be the killer. That one scene where it's him and Randy outside of the door, and like Sidney doesn't know who to choose and who to trust. It works. It works because of how like sort of like he's a little off, but like I don't know, maybe we want to trust him, but he hasn't been around. So like, where's he been? So it does really well. He does really well as a counterbalance to this sort of more psychopathic look that Billy gives. And I love it. I love it to death. My MVP though is somebody who makes it out of this movie. Doesn't make it too long in the series, but makes it out of this movie, and it's Randy. And I think you couldn't have this movie you couldn't have this movie without Stu, but you can't have this movie and the series without Randy, because he is the voice of the audience. Like essentially he's saying all the things that we're thinking, right? Like, when Billy's in the horror section, he's like,
Oh, now that's in poor taste. If you were the only suspect in a senseless bloodbath, would you be standing in the horror section?
They're like, what about the cop? Like, why the cops found this? Or what about Sidney's dad? Like, and he's answering all these things. He's just like, it's not Sidney's dad. It's like it's Billy. Everybody knows it's Billy. It's Billy. It's Billy. Like, watch enough horror movies. Everybody's a suspect. Like, he's so quotable, giving the rules, right? Like rule number 1, like don't have sex, don't drink alcohol, don't do drugs, don't say I'll be right back. All those things, like those are iconic lines just as much as Stu has from this movie, right? Like and he's such a fan favorite to make it out of the movie too. So for all those reasons, man, Jamie Kennedy might kind of cut his teeth. I mean, same with everybody on this movie, kind of cut their teeth with this role to make a career. And like, bro, this is probably like my favorite Jamie Kennedy role. Like, I wish they kept Randy around for longer than they did in the series. So Randy is my MVP of this movie. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you kind of put it in a way like he wasn't on my radar for the MVP when I was thinking about it, but the way you put it, it makes sense.
Yeah, like
his bluntness throughout it all, mixed with the comic relief, it kind of helps tie everything together too.
And I mean, he's literally the voice of, again, the audience, but also of the movie, trying to tell you each and every turn like who the killer is. Like in the beginning, when it's like when they're all by the water fountain, he's like, "Didn't you go out with homegirl?" And he's like, "Yeah, for a little bit." And he's like sort of telling you like, "Bro, like why didn't they ask you? Why didn't they ask you if like you dated her? Because like you did, but it's not too in your face. The lines are there, but it's not too in your face where it's just like punching you in the face, but it's sort of throwing a little jab out there. Yeah. Throwing a little jab out there for you. And that's sort of what this movie is about, right? That's about the meta-ness of that's what makes Scream, right? It's the murder mystery, but it's also the meta-ness. It's the horror. It's the combination of all three. And I think Randy is an essential part of one of those main components that makes Scream be Scream, So
I tell you what's going to be in your face right now. Another pour of this.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
Empire,
let's do that. There we go. Thank you, sir. Scholar and a gentleman. I've said this often about you, behind your back and in front of your face.
People have said worse.
All right. Thank you, sir. Back to you.
Thank you. I'll top myself off here as well.
I want to hear from this as we sort of round this out. You picked Redwood Pipe Dream as the sort of everyday pick that you could pick for this movie, but I gave you a task, and a lot of people don't know this. What would be for this movie your expert pick for this movie? Maybe somebody wants to go out, do a little bourbon hunting. Maybe they want to spend a little bit more than what this bottle is. As you look that up, I'll look up the price for Redwood Empire Pipe Dream, which is what we picked today. Redwood Pipe Dream.
And you wanted like a higher end.
I want you to pick a more expert pick than rather than the one that we have here, in case people want to drop, a little couple more buckaroos. Because currently at Total Wine, you could get Redwood Empire Pipe Dream, the bourbon we are sipping today, for $28.99. At some places it'll be $36. Anywhere between that price range, I feel like that's kind of fair.
Yeah.
But what would be your expert pick that's above that price range?
It's a bargain in this day and age. Like for a bourbon of this quality, I think I paid $32 for this bottle.
I paid 36. I mean, yeah, like I went to 3 different places. I paid 36, but I feel like it's very well worth it. But for above the price range, above the price cap of $25 to $45, what is the expert pick bottle you are telling people to pair with this movie if they want to be fancy?
Okay, so I'm gonna give you one that's a little bit harder to find. And a little bit pricier, but not crazy out of this world. And it's Holiday soft red wheat.
Ben Holiday, right? Soft red wheat.
Mm-hmm. The Rick House proof. Now, I like higher proof stuff. If I'm gonna buy an expensive bottle, I want it to be super high proof so that I'm forced to pace myself. Right? Because if I spend $100 on a bottle and it's 90 proof, like this Redwood Empire, and I'm just glug, 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 glug all night, no good, man.
No good.
I don't want to burn through $100 bottle in one night. And I will. Like if I'm enjoying something and it's not making me like tip off my chair a little bit,
I'll keep going. I'll keep going.
For it. Yeah. Oh, I know you will. That's why we're friends. But so this Rick House proof, this bottle in particular, 119.8 proof.
Ooh, it's got some heat. That's got some heat on it, daddy.
And that's right in my wheelhouse. I've got stuff up. I think the highest one I have
is that just like a receipt on it, or is that a store pick or anything? Or that's just
sticker.
It's just, sticker.
I think they vary, right?
Yeah.
So they're always aged 6 years in new charred oak barrels, but I think the proofs vary per batch.
Okay.
But it's a wheated bourbon, so I like wheated bourbons. Remind me of fall, Halloween, slasher movies.
Nice.
I have that association with a local liquor store by me. They had a store pick that they released, and it was called Trick or Wheat.
Ooh.
And it was a Rebel. It was a Rebel single barrel that was high proof. Really good.
Nice.
So yeah, wheated bourbons I always associate with that. And then it's a soft red. So it's got that blood red slasher movie color to it. A fair price for this, probably $65.
Yeah, we're looking at soft red wheat Rick House proof bourbon right here. This is soft red Rick House proof. At Total Wine in Austin, it's going for $69.69.
That's fair price.
Yeah, I feel like it's good MSRP.
Yeah, for sure. And it's hard to find around here. I pretty much pick it up. My brother-in-law, who I've gotten into whiskey majorly, he lives in New York. He brought me this bottle. He found it it's pretty readily available there. Not so much here in Florida. And then I go to Atlanta pretty frequently for work. I'm going to be going in July, and that's where I found it in the past.
We're gonna
But
talk after this. See when you're going in July, because I might just go meet you in July.
oh yeah,
because my company's there,
dude. Yeah, let's talk dates.
Let's talk.
I'm not
dates.
gonna say it on here so people don't know when I'm not home.
Oh, me either, right? Me
They'll come
either.
harass my chickens.
Yeah, then or fondle them. You don't want that. That's not good.
No, they might.
Yeah, let's not think
Although
about
I
that.
do have one rooster, so they're going to be getting enough action pretty soon.
I know, just between me and you, I know Ben Holiday from the Bruzel channel. He's a real popular fan of Ben Holiday, and it's very readily, like, if you have trouble finding it, it's very readily available at Total Wines and Specs here in Austin, Texas. So
some stuff is like the Bottle and Bond is available here, and I think they have a small batch that I can find at Total Wine here, but the Rickhouse proof I have not seen.
Interesting. Yeah,
they're out of Missouri, so
yeah. There. So we've got the soft red wheat Rickhouse, wheat bottle and bond, just the regular Rickhouse, and bottle and bond straight, not the soft red wheat.
I would pass you a pour of this one, but it seems like the portal shut down. So
yeah, it's a little closer to the end of the evening. It shuts down after an hour, and we're already an hour 01, unfortunately.
Right in that sweet
superpower. Spot. Yeah, that's superpower lost. But Bill, that is your expert pick for this movie. If people want to get a little bit more fancy, if they want to, first of all, this has been awesome to do, and I'd love to have you on again in the future, which will probably happen again.
Can I make a request?
Yeah, you can make a request.
Can I want to put in
your hat? What do you want to put in your hat for?
So since I know that this is murder mystery, I want to be on the episode that you break down Clue.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
hey,
if you're gonna have me back, I'm requesting to be on the Clue episode.
Say less, fam. In the words of the kids on TikTok, say less, fam. Say less, fam. I will definitely have you back on for Clue. But yeah, in the meantime, though, again, thank you so much again for making some time coming on here. Where can people find you and your beautiful show that you do every week? Especially if they're, again, either whiskey fans or MMA fans, want to reach out. Dude, you do a lot. I mean, just tell it. You do a lot of the MMA content, but you do a lot of like making drink content and making a new fancy drink, especially when it's a different season. So like, people are interested in that. Where can they find you, man?
Yeah, it's all at MMA on the Rocks everywhere on social media. I do have TikTok. I'm not on there too much. Mostly on Instagram. Yeah, I do some MMA stuff. I do some spoof commentary, which is my favorite stuff to do. And I do whiskey reviews. And my favorite thing is the 1 minute, 1 glass cocktails, right? Teach people how to make a cocktail right in a glass, because a lot of cocktail content is like, you got to stab your ice with an ice pick, and then you got to, shave your oranges, and you got to mix it in a
But then first shave your chesticles, and then, make sure your armpits are hairless before you go in, because you need to be aerodynamic to stir 87 times, right? Like I've seen that video before. Mm-hmm. I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like too complicated. So, and I don't think drinking should be complicated. I think it should be enjoyable. Right. So I'll show you how to make a good quality cocktail with just like a little bit of whiskey and whatever you got in your pantry. And yeah, that's it, man. I just have fun on the internet. The podcast is MMA on the Rocks. That's YouTube and Spotify and for video, and then everywhere else for audio. Been doing that for 9 years now, believe it or not.
It's crayou, dude. It's really
and you
crazy.
Can find your old pal Blake on there many times throughout the years. So
it's been a wild journey.
If you want to ease into the MMA on the Rocks world, you can search MMA on the Rocks
and then Money Blake.
Brother, And,
you'll find some good stuff. I think you'll find some good stuff.
You'll find some little
there.
Easter eggs there. But yeah,
everybody-
man, this was awesome. Thanks for asking me to do this. This was
Of course.
so much fun.
Yeah. I knew you were the right guy for this, man. We've been friends, I think almost 10 years, like 2015, 2016. We became
Somewhere around
friends. Yeah, it's wild. And we've never met in person, people. Like, that's a crazy thing. You probably would have thought we would. But we've hung out as if we've been hanging out for years. That's the crazy part. But while you're on the internet and following MMA on the Rocks everywhere podcasts are, you can feel free to follow Nerds at Night. That's where we're doing all the content. That's where you can find more whiskey and a mystery. If you're still interneting after MMA on the Rocks and Nerds at Night, because Nerds at Night's on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, you could find me, Money Blakeweather, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, everywhere the cool kids are hanging out. That's where I want to be. That's what I'm going to be drinking whiskey at. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be hanging out. It's going to be fun. I want to thank everybody again for making the first episode of this just so successful. Maybe it's because you like it. Maybe it's because I know what you did last summer is right around the corner. I don't really know. But thank y'all so much. And I hope you guys are finding some good whiskey information. Let me know your favorite whiskey. And if you've tried this one, like if you've listened to this, come back and tried this whiskey. And if you watch Scream with it, and if it didn't enhance your experience, if it didn't, have your local liquor store give you your money back. It's not going to be me, but have them give you your money back. But if you do have a great experience, leave a like and leave a comment of how much you like this. How about that? I think that's a fair trade. But in the meantime, I want to thank every one of y'all for tuning in, continuing to make this a success. There may be in the future, if you see these little glasses, there may be in the future some giveaways for some glasses like that with the logo on there. I don't know. We're talking about some things right now, so we'll see. But in the meantime, whether it's morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time you're listening to this, I do appreciate you. And until the next case, I will see you. Peace.
Cheers.